All right, good morning, everyone. Warm-ups are just about over. 10 seconds left. It'll be a rematch. The Kansas City Knights, JV1 versus the Icehawks. Knights getting the 9-1 victory last night over at Blue Hawk. Russo will be back in net for the Knights. It'll be Alex Patney in net for the Icehawks. Knights are the home team over here at Independence Ice Arena, or Community Ice, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if it's really an arena. JV2 in action about 10:50. They'll be back at KC Icehawks to take on the Stars, taking a 7-0 loss last night. They'll try to get a little revenge against the Stars. Started off really well, and then most of the scoring there was in the second, third period. Knights started off strong last night, getting 6 goals in the first period to really jump on top of the Icehawks early. Knights will bring out Prazel and Graham on the defense. This will be Larson, Smith, and Fortner on the forwards line. Smith almost had himself a hat trick last night. Neal almost had himself a hat trick. Face-off comes to Fortner. Fortner will bring it up the left-hand side. Smith fills the middle, loses the puck. Down in the corner, now it's Larson. Cleared around the half wall, up to Prazel by the Icehawks. Prazel holds it in, sends it back behind Patney. Goes over far side, Smith sends it back. This will be Larson behind Patney, sends it over into the corner. This will be Fortner. Backhands it up to Prazel, sends it back down in the corner, back behind Patney once again. Comes up the near side, Hawks finally get it cleared. Now up the right-hand side. Squeezed by Graham, slowed up. Fortner puts a little body check on. Now it trickles out into the neutral zone, all the way down into the Icehawk zone. They'll grab this one, now looking to go D to D, but brings a nice pass right up into the slot. Now brought into the Knights zone. Quick shot on goal, saved by Russo. Loose puck up front. Larson will grab this one, pushes it ahead just past Cunningham. In comes Neal. Neal gets the steal, brings it down low. Back behind Patney. Cunningham fills the middle, gets checked out of there. Now Neal with a little time and space, skates in, takes a shot, goes wide of the net, comes up high. Morrison takes a shot, blocked by the Icehawks. Morrison holds it in, sends it back down to Cunningham, up against the half wall. Up front, Goins was filling the middle. Now Neal slaps it down, brings it out in the neutral zone. Knights will have to get onside. Neal comes in the right-hand side around one of their defensemen, went to put a check on it. Neal a little too quick. Now trickles over. Cunningham right up front, trying to get it to Neal, streaking through the middle. Goins will cycle it up the half wall. Neal will hit the bench. Cunningham's going to hit the bench. In comes Chikini. Goins with a big body check right there at the red line. And now gets the puck. 2-on-1. Comes Goins. Diaz whiffs on the shot from Patney. Goes wide of the net. Cycles up high. Becker will slap one. Goes wide left. Just past Morrison. Trickles out into the neutral zone. He'll retreat back. Sends it over to Diaz. Diaz. Larson. Oh, we got a trip. Arms in the air. Russo's going to head to the bench. We'll get a 6th skater in here. In comes McClin. He'll take a shot. Deflected loose up front. Shoots and scores! I have no idea who got credit for that. The Knights are looking around. I'm not sure they know who got credit for that. Let's see who skates to the front. It's going to be Michael Diaz. And at 10:23 left in the first, Knights strike first 1-0. Michael's second goal of the season. Larson, Chikini, Diaz stay out there. McClin and Brown on the defense. Face-off goes to the Icehawks. Back into their own zone. Chipped up the half wall out to neutral. Comes right to Brownie. Brownie will send it right back up. This is Larson. Larson backhands over to Diaz. Shoots! Patney with the save. They'll blow it dead. Face off in the Icehawk zone. 10:05 remaining in the first. Knights leading 1-0. Larson comes away with his own face-off win. Takes it back down low into the corner. Loses it to a little poke check. Puck flutters up. Grabbed by Diaz. Down into the corner. Larson will battle for it. Chikini comes away with it. Gets taken down as he tries to take a shot. Now we got some pushing going on up front. And Chikini's going to go to the sin bin. Blew it dead as the net came off. And we're going to get a roughing on Lincoln Chikini. 2 minutes. Icehawks go to the power play. Chikini to the sin bin. Brought to you by Westport Flea Market Bar and Grill. Best burgers in Kansas City. Looking for something to do, head down to Westport. Go check out the flea market. Self a nice meal to get back home and watch the Chiefs play tonight. Smith will come in. Goins. Brown and McClin on this penalty kill here for the Knights. Face off in the Knight zone. Comes out into neutral. This will be grabbed by the Icehawks. Now stolen by Goins. He'll skate in on Patney. Patney with a save. Nice move by Goins. Comes from the left, goes across to the right. Patney moved right with him. Smothered that one up. Face-off will now be in the Icehawk zone. Face-off far side. Icehawks win this one. Centered around Patney. Comes over near side. This will be Brown down in the corner. Back behind Patney. Off to McClin. Comes right down the blue line. Now sends one up front. Smith's working that one. He'll take a shot. Patney with another save. Now Smith just lays out one of the Icehawks. He gets up and goes after Smith. And now we got a little ruckus in the corner. Icehawks will try to clear it past McClin. Down into the Knight zone. McClin back behind Russo. Goins with a check up front. Puck comes back into the Knight zone right to Brown. He'll chip it off the half wall. Just out in front of Goins. He'll bring it into the Icehawk zone. Centers it to Smith. Shot. Patney with another save. Comes over near corner. Prazel will race in. Brown's going to go to the bench. McClin's off to the bench. In comes Graham, battle down in the corner. Can't really see much action here with this post that's in the way. Oh, there we go. We got a nice view down in the corner. I'll look on the TV monitor. Here come the Icehawks the other direction. Chip down into the Knight zone, back behind Russo. Graham will send it around the half wall. Icehawks will hold it in the corner. Tries to center it up front, poked away by Russo. Now grabbed by Smith. And we're going to get an interference on Prazel. I think he knocked one of the Icehawk players right into the crease well after the puck was away. That's going to be an interference every day. So now it's a 5-on-3 power play. In comes Neal. He'll be the only forward. Becker and Morrison on the defense. Neal will take the face-off. 23 seconds remaining on the first penalty to Chikini. Oh, so that'll be offset? Okay. They're giving one to the Icehawks. So this should be then a 5-on-4. Let's see if the Knights can get a player over the boards. Nope, now they, oh, wow. He's out of the game. So that was something after the fact, but that still should give him at least an unsportsmanlike, you'd think. Icehawks still have 5 players on the ice. Knights only have 3. Oh, they gave him a major 5 minutes, so he's gone. Somebody's got to go to the box, and it should be somebody on the ice, I think. Nope. That's a major, so he's gone. Somebody's serving it, and now, yes, so it'll be a 4-on-3. One of the Icehawks will skate off to the bench. That's a non-expiring power play, so the Knights will get a power play for 3 minutes once all this works itself out. Face-off comes over near side. Icehawks will get this one, sends it up high. Neal will chase after it. Now they send it back into the corner, centered up front, goes past Russo, off to the corner. Now to Neal, chips it up the wall. And it'll be a 1-on-1. Neal will come right, back to the middle, tries to push it through the skates, stolen by the Icehawks. 1 second, now it's a 4-on-4. In comes Chikaini. And we're gonna get an offsides. Face-off will come out to neutral, so this will be a 4-on-4 even skate now for 1:35. And then the Knights will get a 3-minute non-expiring power play from that major. Neal will come off. Chikaini and Diaz will be in there now. Becker and Morrison on the defense. Icehawks with a face-off win. Dump it into the Knight zone. Now Diaz will send it to Becker. Becker over to Morrison. Morrison cross ice right off the knee of Chikaini. Deflects all the way back into the Knight zone. Now to be Morrison. Cross ice over to Chikaini. They go for the check, missed on Chikaini, down into the Icehawk zone. They'll chase after it. Chikaini gets there first, wraps it around. Becker was right up front, but didn't see the puck coming at him. Now he'll backhand it up high to Morrison. Morrison will sling one. Patney with a blocker save comes over near side. Morrison, nice save up front at the blue line. Now it's cleared. We should get no icing. Grabbed by Russo. Now to hands it off to Morrison. Morrison backhands it up the wall. Chikaini will grab this one at the red line. 35 seconds left on the 4-on-4, and then the Knights will go to a power play. Diaz battling up against the half wall. Cycles up high, and now we're going to get a penalty. Roughing on Diaz. And, oh, that's bad timing on that. We'll still get a power play, but it's not going to be in the next 25 seconds. So Knights will only have about 1.5 minutes worth of power play time instead of 3 minutes. So right now the Icehawks will go to the power play. For 25 seconds, it'll be a 4-on-3 power play. In comes Smith. Over to Brown, backhands it, and that's going to be an offsides. Whoa, a lot of action right here at the beginning of this game, and this one started off totally different than it did last night. Faceoff comes up high, grabbed by Pierce. Chased by Smith. Cycled up the half wall in through the neutral zone to Brown in the Knight zone. He'll send it back the other way, clears it down into the Icehawk zone. 5 seconds left. And now we're on 4-on-4 again. In comes Fortner. Back behind Patney, grabbed by the Icehawks. Fortner comes in, loose puck, grabbed by Smith. Cycles it back behind Patney once again. Icehawks with the puck. They'll clear it. That should be an icing. Icing is the call to come back into the Icehawk zone for a face-off. 5:41 remaining in the first. Knights leading 1-0. And the penalty box has been active so far in this period. Holy smokes. We've had a major, we've had a player kicked out of the game already. 3 penalties for the Knights. 4-on-4 for the next minute 13, and then the Knights will get about a minute 25 power play. Icehawks with a face-off win. Held by Graham at the blue line. Now the Icehawks will get it clear. Back out to neutral. This is going to be to Holiday. And now we're going to have another penalty on the Knights. And this is going to be Fortner for elbowing. And now the Knights won't get a power play. So 4 penalties in the first 10 minutes of this game, 8 minutes of this game for the Knights. So 52 seconds left. Icehawks will have a 4-on-3 power play. Big slapper, blocker save, Russo. Round the half wall from Graham. Held by the Icehawks. They'll skate in. Shot goes high up over the net off the back glass. Icehawks hold it, send it over near corner. Prazel's there. Icehawks hold it around the backside of Russo. Graham will sling it back around the half wall. Comes up near side, held by the Icehawks at the blue line. Whiffed on the one-timer, held it in, comes around Prazel. Now backhands it, left corner, 10 seconds remaining on the 4-on-3. Sends one from the blue line, right into the gut of Russo. He'll smother that one up, blown dead. Face off in the Icehawk zone. Smith will go get a breather. In will come Larson. In will come Becker. In will come Morrison. 7 seconds. Diaz's penalty will end. It'll go back to a 4-on-4. Loose puck right up front, comes high. Icehawks take a shot, shoots and scores with 2 seconds left, so that'll be a power play goal. And with 4:30 remaining in the first, the Icehawks have tied it at 1. So now it'll be a 4-on-4 skate for a minute and 11, and then the Knights will try to get another power play. They keep getting penalties that offset this. Face-off Icehawks now to Becker. Becker will slam it into the Icehawk zone. Cunningham will forecheck, cleared by the Icehawks. Right under the skate of Becker. Now around Becker. They got a 2-on-1. They'll skate in. Saved by Russo. Comes right back to Becker. He'll push it ahead to Cunningham. Chips it off the half wall. Now the Knights 2-on-1. Cunningham to Larson. Shoots. Patney with the save. Still loose underneath Patney. Now he'll lay on top of it. They'll blow it dead. Nice pass from Cunningham to Larson. Nice stop by Patney there in net. 4:01 remaining in the first. We're tied at 1. In will come Neal and Goins. Brown and McClin on the defense. Knights will get a 15-second power play here once the penalty to Fortner ends. Goins wins it up to the half wall, but grabbed by the Icehawks. They'll clear it. That should be icing. Icing is the call. They'll come back into the Icehawk zone for another faceoff. .352 remaining in the first. Wow, we've had some action here. This is a totally different look to the game than it was last night over at Blue Hawk, where the Knights just jumped all over the Icehawks early, taking a 6-0 lead after the first period. Not many penalties were called in that one. This action's been hot and heavy. Most of the penalties have gone against the Knights. Icehawks try to clear it, comes right to Neal. He'll send it to Brown. Brown sends it back to Neal off his skate. Now the Icehawks will bring it into neutral. Oh, nice poke check there by McClin, slowing that up. Comes right to the stick of Neal. He'll dump it back in the Icehawk zone. 2 seconds, 1. And I don't know what we got going on over here. This is going to be a penalty on the Icehawks, some kind of holding as they tied up Neal. And now he goes right after Neal, and here comes Brown, and now we got all kinds of action. Icehawks player went right after Neal. Neal didn't like that, neither did Brown. He came over and cross-checked him. And let's see how this one breaks down here. Holy moly. Russo getting the word from the ref over there. 3:15 left. We got a 2-minute on Neal. 5-minute, they called it on Diaz, but I think that's Brown because I don't think Diaz was on the ice. I think they got the wrong number. Double minor by number 88 from the Icehawks. It had originally holding on Neal and then went over and hit Neal, and Neal went after him with a roughing. And a lot of discussions here. Let's see, Brown is in there. Neal's in there. They're talking to Larson and Coach Kempkes. Sin Bin's Full, brought to you by Westport Flea Market Bar and Grill. And we're going to skate 4-on-4. So let's see who the Knights will bring in here. It'll be Larson and Fortner, McClin and Prazel. Well, they've changed. Goins is on there for 2 minutes. They originally had Diaz, but I think it was Brown. Brown might be out of the game. Not seeing him on the bench, so I think he's out. Face-off comes to McClin. Chipped up the half wall, comes to Larson. Sends it back up front, tries to get it to McClin. McClin will battle back in the corner. Icehawks will cycle it up the boards. And now they are on a power play. No, they're not on a, 4-on-3. Goes for the check, misses on Larson. Larson will send it up the boards. He'll race after it. He's going to get to it first. Takes a shot. Patney with a save. Comes right up to Prazel. Prazel backhands it, centers it up front. Grabbed by the Icehawks. Sauced it up. Grabbed by McClin right at the blue line. And now the net is off. Patney will set it back into place. And will face it off in the Icehawk zone. Knights will get some new players out here. In comes Smith, Cunningham, and Graham. Four-on-three power play. Knights will get two players back at the same times. Goins and Neal are both in the sin bin. But they had a double minor for number 88 for the Icehawks. So the Knights will actually get a power play. Nice shot by Cunningham right into the gut of Patney. Oh boy, this has been tricky trying to keep track of all this stuff going on here today. 2:23 remaining in the first. We're tied at 1. Smith wins a face-off, goes back and gets it, backhands it to Graham. Graham missed on that one. Now turns around, slings it back in the Icehawk zone. They'll kick it back out to neutral. Pass Cunningham. Graham will grab it in the corner, up the boards. Pierce will hold it for the Icehawks. Sends it over far side. Up into neutral. Smith will go after this one, loses at the red line. The Icehawks will grab it in their own zone. 38 seconds left on the 4-on-3, and then the Knights will go to a 5-on-4. As Neal and Goins will both come out of the sin bin at the same time. Cunningham right here at the red line sends it over to Graham. Graham across the red line, has it poke checked away, grabbed by the Icehawks. Nice hit by Cunningham, loose puck. This will be grabbed by Graham. Up ahead to Smith. Smith will touch it to Cunningham. Cunningham up the left-hand side. Smith to the bench. Cunningham puts on the brakes, has a poke checked away. 5 seconds left. In comes Larson. Shot, Patney save. Comes up high, right to Cunningham. In comes Fortner. Oh, I see what was going on here. Knights do not have a power play. Goins was serving the 2-minute for Brown, and now there's another 5-minute major, so they had to wait for that to end. Graham with a shot, Patney with a save. Comes to Fortner in the corner. Penalty board only has room for 2 players, and we had 3, so makes sense now. Icehawks up the right-hand side, looks for cross ice pass, poked away by Cunningham. Comes right to Larson. Larson comes in. Patney pokes it away and then trips Fortner. No arm in the air on that. Here comes the Icehawks the other way. 4-on-4. Slap shot blocked by Becker. Right to Russo. Covers it up. They'll blow it dead. Face off in the Knight zone. So we are 4-on-4 for the next minute 7, and then the Icehawks will go back to a power play for 3 minutes from Brown's boarding penalty. I believe that's what they got as he went over and cross-checked the kid that hit Neal. Sent him flying into the boards, so. Goins will check in, takes the center spot, loses the face-off up high to the Icehawks. Fortner races over. Side to his backhand. Backhander goes out in front of Patney, far side. Becker will send one back to Patney. Save. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And that's the end of the first period. And oh, an action-packed one this one was. Mostly filled in the sin bin. After the 1, we are tied at 1. We'll start the second 4-on-4 as the double minor will end for the Icehawks there in 45 seconds. And then they will have a 3-minute non-expiring. Knights 1 goal on 15 shots. Icehawks 1 goal on 5 shots. Whew. Man, that was a lot. All right, Patney will head off to our right. Russo will head off to our left. Having a little discussion with Dad over there by the sin bin. The double minor by 88. I think it was a holding and it was a roughing. And then Neal got a roughing. Brown's boarding penalty still has 3:45 left, so Icehawks. Knights have, Bo Smith checks in. Chikine over there. Face-off comes to Chikine. Chips it off the half wall near in front. Kicks it into the Icehawk zone. In comes Chikine. Now loses it on a back check by the Icehawks. Nice save by Morrison right at the blue line. Down into the corner. This will be Lincoln Chikine. Tries to center it up front. Smith wasn't there. Icehawks will grab it down in the far corner. They'll clear it out. Bring it into the neutral zone. Cross the red line. Down into the Knight zone. 15 seconds remaining. Blocker saved by Russo. Grabbed by Lincoln Chikine down low. Poke check by the Icehawks. Now here comes Smith. Right through the middle. Taps it ahead to Becker. Becker up the right. Takes a shot. Deflected, goes wide. Icehawks are on a power play now. Big check by the Icehawks on Chikine. Quick shot by Morrison at the blue line. Patney secured that one. Face-off will be in the Icehawk zone. In comes Neal, in comes Cunningham. Graham and Prazel on the defense for this offensive zone face-off. 2:49 power play, non-expiring now for the Icehawks. Neal wins it. Cunningham up high to Prazel, goes wide, right to Cunningham, backhander, saved by Patney, and now that's going to be an icing. They'll blow it dead. Face-off will come back into the Icehawk zone. Just underway in the second. We're tied at 1. Check the cord. I heard the audio went out. Backhander Cunningham. Patney still loose up front. Now the Icehawks will clear it. Can't get it out of the zone. Nice job by Prazel holding it down into the corner. Cycled around the boards. Cunningham grabs this one quickly over to Prazel. Prazel's shot deflected, goes off the top of the ceiling. They should have blown it dead. Neal slapped it down. Play on. Cunningham around, takes a shot. Patney with a save, now covers it up. Can you hear it yet? I'm hearing the audio went out, so I'm not muted. Oh, you can hear it fine? Okay. Maybe it's on McClynn's end then. So McClynn and Morrison in on the defense. Goins and Fortner on the forward line. 1-1 is the score. 11-14 remaining in the second. Face-off comes to McClynn. McClynn will peel back a little time and space. Now down into the corner. Back behind Patney. Takes it all the way far side. McClynn still holding it down into the corner. Goins will chase after it. Back behind Patney. He's got Fortner right up front. Oh, couldn't get it to him. Nice spin move by Goins to his backhand. Brings it up high. McClynn will send one wide of the net. Bounces off the back wall. Morrison sends it right back up front. 1:20 remaining on the power play. Nice job by Fortner. Gets the steal, comes right to Goins, shot, blocked up front. Trickles up high, right to McClynn, backhands it near corner. Grabbed by Fortner, all the way around Patney, comes back to the middle, forehand shot. Patney with a save up into the netting. You want to bring your leg over this side. That way maybe you can see there you go. See it a little better. Blown dead, face off in the Icehawk zone. 10-12 remaining in the second, tied at 1. In comes Diaz and Chikini. Becker and Prazel on the defense. 57 seconds remaining on the Icehawks power play. Hey, if you want a 6 skater, you got to pull your goalie. Face-off comes to Diaz. Tries to get it to Prazel. Stays in the Knight zone. Now here comes Chikini with a check. Loose puck in neutral, grabbed by the Icehawks. Back check by Diaz, lifts a stick, gets a loose puck, comes to Prazel. Now Chikini will get it out into the neutral zone. Kick back into the Knight zone. Prazel backhands it near side. Becker will grab this one. Oop, him and Chikini were both going after it. Still got a delayed offsides, and Diaz is going to get it stoppage offsides. 19 seconds remaining on the Icehawks power play. Faceoff will come out to neutral. 9:34 remaining the second, tied at 1. Face-off slapped into the Icehawk zone by Diaz. Now grabbed by the Icehawks up the left-hand side. Pierce will bring it into the Knight zone, down into the near corner. Becker and Pierce will battle for it. Grabbed by Becker, up ahead to Diaz. Comes right to Larson. Larson will skate in to the right, takes a shot. Patney with another save. That's the end of the power play, so the Knights are finally back to full strength. Boy, it seems like it's been an entire period since I've been able to say that. So this will be Larson, Cunningham, and Neal. Becker and Prazel on the defense. Larson will take the center spot. Cunningham right, Neal left. Face-off comes to Cunningham. Tries to get it up high to Prazel, past him into the neutral zone. He'll cycle it back to Neal. Neal up the left-hand side, skates in, has it poke checked away by Pierce. Centers it up front, he'll take another hit. This one's gonna be on the Icehawks. Comes to Prazel, shot, shoots and scores! Kansas City goal! Number 68, Hayden Prazel from number 73, Brody Cunningham. And at 8:45 remaining in the second, Knights get back into the lead, 2-1. That was a delayed penalty, so no power play now for the Knights on that delayed penalty. So there's a penalty on the backside of that from the Icehawks. It will be a 5-on-5, so no power play. This is a 2-minute, probably an unsportsmanlike or something of that nature. Face-off comes to Cunningham. Cunningham chips it into the Icehawk zone. Patney slaps it away, right in front, shoots and scores! Kansas City goal! Number 25, Charlie Larson. From number 73, Brody Cunningham. And 2 quick goals by the Knights. This one a shot by Cunningham. Patney saved it. It deflected straight up into the air. He went right, the puck landed right in the crease, and Larson skated in, slapped it into the back of the net. Shot, Cunningham, save, Patney. Cunningham, right up front. Now it's cleared out by the Icehawks. Comes over near side. Neal will hold it into the corner. Centers it up front. Nobody there for the Knights. Now the Icehawks will clear it into the neutral zone. This comes to Graham. Loose at the in here at neutral. McClin pokes it away, comes right to Neal. Neal up the right-hand side, looking to pass. Now take a shot right into the glove of Patney. 7:46 remaining in the second. Knights leading 3-1. Face-off will be in the Icehawk zone. Goins, Fortner, and Smith have checked in. Morrison and Becker on the defense. Face-off, grabbed by Goins, goes down low, loses the puck. Icehawks cycle it around the back of the boards. Morrison will send one, that's blocked up front. Now Smith will battle for it, far corner. Fortner skates in, loose puck up against the boards. Fortner finally chips it down into the corner. He'll chase after it. Comes around the back of Patney, up high to Goins. Shot, wide of the net. Becker can't hold this one in, cycles it back in, but Fortner's offside, so delayed offsides, now chipped into the Knight zone. Comes down low, Morrison skates down, grabs it off the back wall. Cross ice pass, nice pass by Smith, comes right to Goins. Goins skates in, Patney, oh! Goes wide of the net, lost the puck. Comes over to Smith, near side. Now the Icehawks will get it cleared out to neutral. Comes back to Becker in the Knight zone, slapped off the boards, comes right to Goins at neutral ice. Goins will bring it in. Up the left-hand side, around the defenseman, centers it up front, trying to get it to Fortner. He got tied up, comes away with the puck. Now cross ice, Smith, shot, Patney with a save. Big check by Smith. Puck comes out to neutral. Becker will slap at it. Loose puck grabbed by Morrison. Pushes it ahead, past Goins, down into the corner in the Icehawk zone. 6:05 remaining the second. Centered up front by Goins. McClin will hold it momentarily. Now keeps after the puck. Now goes down low. Around the board send the Icehawks out to neutral. Big check by Goins. Now it's Fortner up the right-hand side. Can't get that puck. Icehawks try to clear it. Comes right to Larson. Backhand. Patney with a save. Alex Patney will cover that one up. Blown dead. It'll be a face-off in the Icehawk zone. Big check by Goins up there against that far boards. Got skated in far enough to get his shoulder just in front of the player and checked him hard into the boards. Loose puck. Knights came back down, got a shot on Patney again, but he covered it up. Patney with 26 saves so far. Knights have been peppering him with 29 shots. Larson, Diaz, and Chikaini in. McClin and Prazel. Larson grabs his own face-off, cycles it up the boards. Chikaini, a little shoulder check there, now chases after the puck. Goes back behind Patney, comes to Diaz. Now loose, grabbed by the Icehawks. Larson slaps it back the other way. Diaz tries to backhand it off the side of the net. Center right up to Larson, shot Patney with another save. Whoa, that one was a sweet save there. It was a hard slapper from Larson. He'll get another one. One-timer goes wide. Diaz misses the net. Prazel will hold it. Back to Larson. Backhands it down the boards. Diaz will grab it behind Patney. Loses it into the corner. Checked by Chikaini. Pierce will send it back around the backside. Larson will grab this one. Now up the boards into neutral. Prazel down into the Knight zone. Grabs this one on the back of his stick. Puts on the brakes behind Russo. Comes out the right-hand side. Looks for the cross-ice pass. Chipped by Diaz. That still should be an icing. And it will be icing. because Diaz was on this side of the red line.
This game is brought to you by Par Electric. Par puts people first.
All right, face-off will come back into the night zone. Cunningham, Goins, Neal check in. Morrison and Graham on this defensive set. 4:29 remaining in the second, 3-1 Knights. Goins wins it. Neal tries to streak through the middle, bounces off Goins' stick again. Now down low, right in front of Russo. He'll cover it up. Morrison right there to help protect the front of the crease in case it trickled out. Nice alertness there by Colton Morrison. And for some reason, they're coming out to neutral. Face off, Neal retreats back, grabs this one. Now he'll streak up the left-hand side. Goins will come to the middle. Neal tries to center it, back behind Goins, comes up high to Graham. Graham slaps it back into the corner, back behind Patnay. Cunningham will grab this one in the corner, centers it, Neal shoots and scores! Kansas City goal! Number 71, Chase Neal from number 73, Brody Cunningham. Brody Cunningham becoming an assist maniac today. He's got 3 assists. Face off down into the night zone. Neal tried to center one. This bounces off a couple Icehawks, comes right to Cunningham. He'll cycle it back to Neal. Oh, Neal takes a big check. Down goes Neal, and they're going to call a penalty. And we're going to get a penalty. Oh, this is going to be offsetting here. We're going to skate 5-on-5. So 3:41 remaining in the second. 4-1 Knights. McClin and Becker are in. Larson, Smith, and Fortner on this forward line. 5-on-5, so that's offsetting. They'll be eligible to come back at the first stoppage after the 1:41 mark. Face-off comes to Fortner. Fortner right to Smith. Shot, shoots and scores! Kansas City goal! Number 77, Bo Smith from number 48. Matthew the baby Fortner. And number 25, Larson. Charlie Larson. Off that face-off. And with 3:36 remaining in the second, now the Knights get that scoring going. They finally figured out how to get it past Patnay. And it's 5-1 Knights. Face-off comes to McClin. McClin will retreat back a little time and space. Nice pass right out to Fortner. Fortner will bring it in the right-hand side. It's on his backhand, down into the corner. Cleared by the Icehawks, comes out to neutral. McClin will race back for this one, to his backhand. Puts on the brakes, creates a whole bunch of time and space with that move. Sends it cross ice to Larson. Larson up the left-hand side. Now cycles it down into the corner. This will be Fortner. And Larson can't hold this one in. He'll wait for Smith. Now peel back through the neutral zone. A lot of time and space, gets ahead of steam, brings it in the right-hand side. Back behind Patnay. Leaves it for McClin. Grabbed by Smith. He'll take a shot. Patnay with another save. Loose puck back behind. Comes to McClin. Brings it up high to Becker. Becker will send one way wide left of the net. Bounces off the back wall. Comes right to Larson. And the net is off. Patnay will reset it. They'll blow it dead. 2:13 remaining in the second. Knights leading 5-1. Neal, Chikine, and Cunningham will check in. Prazel and Graham on the defense. Cunningham and Neal switch sides. Icehawks need another player. We're a 5-on-5 skate. Chikine wins it up high to Prazel. Prazel slapper blocked away by the Icehawks, goes wide of the net. Grabbed by Neal, far side. Comes around the back of Patnay. Tried that Michigan again and just flips it up front. Nice back check by Cunningham. Comes away with a puck. Now sent into the Knight zone right to Russo. He'll clear this one off. And this will be grabbed by Prazel near corner. Puts on the brakes. Gets it to Neal. Neal pushes it ahead. Chikine and Cunningham weren't ready for that. Comes into the Icehawk zone, but they lose the puck. Grabbed by Chikine. Neal's right up front. Gets checked out, cleared by Patnay. Backhander goes wide of the net by Cunningham. Big check by Chikine. Now grabbed by Prazel. Prazel will skate in. Takes a shot. Patnay's lost his twig. Loose out here towards the blue line. Sent back into the corner by Graham. Round the boards, Cunningham. Pops high up into the air. Comes right to the stick of Neal. Neal sends it around an Icehawks player. Has it poked back away. Comes to Cunningham. Cunningham to Graham. Graham cross ice. Bounces off the skate of Larson. Now Prazel will send it down to Cunningham into the Icehawk zone. 45 seconds remaining. Cunningham centers it up front to Larson. Back behind Patnay. Tries to get it to Fortner. Cleared by the Icehawks, and that's going to be an icing. They'll blow it dead. Face-off will come back to the Icehawk zone with 32 seconds remaining in the period. Diaz, Larson, and Fortner in here on this face-off. Morrison and Becker on the defense. Face-off comes, gets tied up. Now comes right to Larson, shoots and scores! Kansas City goal! Number 25, Charlie Larson. And it's 6-1 Knights, 26 seconds remaining in the second. Face-off comes to Larson, popped up in the air, now grabbed by the Icehawks at the red line. They'll bring it into the Knight zone. Takes a shot, deflected, goes wide of the net, comes over near side. Diaz is over here, along with Larson, trickles down low. This will be Becker, back behind Russo. Pokes it ahead, comes right to Larson. 5 seconds left from the red line. Into the Icehawk zone, backhands it to Diaz. Deflecting goes wide of the net. And after 2, it's the Knights 6, the Icehawks 1. Five goals by the Knights there in that second period. Six goals total, so the Knights 6 goals on 35 shots. Icehawks 1 goal on 6 shots. Patney will come out. Did talk to Patney's mom before the game, said he was just playing 2 periods, so it has nothing to do with the scoreboard or the shots. Looks like he went to the locker room, so I think maybe they had somewhere they needed to get to. Landry will come in. He was the starter last night over at Blue Hawk to finish this game up for the Icehawks. Knights will bring in Diaz. He'll go off to the right wing. Chucky, Lincoln Chikini will be over here to the left. Colton Goins will take the center spot. McClin and Graham on the defense. Face-off comes. This will come all the way back in the Knight zone to McClin. McClin will get it to Chikini. Chikini, a little check there, slams Morin right into the ref. Loose puck, grabbed by McClin. Backhands it down the boards. Cleared out by the Icehawks. Now Graham will come chasing after this one back into the Knight zone. Icehawks slam it right back into the Knight zone. That'll be an icing. Face-off will come back into the Icehawk zone. 12:28 remaining in the game. 6-1 Knights. It's a 5-goal differential. Should be a run clock, but they stopped it on this icing for some reason. Cunningham, Neal, and Larson will check in on the forwards. Prazel and Becker on the defense. Larson wins it over far side, bounces off an Icehawk player. Becker holds it in at the blue line. Loose puck comes to Cunningham, shot, Landry with a save. Rebound Cunningham goes into the net, but they blew it dead, and we're gonna get a penalty. And this is gonna be on Larson, hooking. So the Icehawks will go to the power play. Larson will go to the sin bin. Brought to you by Westport Flea Market Bar and Grill. Smith and Fortner on the forwards. Prazel and Becker on the defense. Fortner taking the center spot. Comes up. Icehawks with a shot. Blocked by Smith. He'll try to clear it. Can't get it out of the zone. Now Prazel will backhand it out into neutral. Comes down into the Icehawk zone. Grabbed by the Icehawks. Nice. Uh-oh. Icehawks whiff on the shot. Nice job by Prazel getting down onto a knee. Blocked it actually with his skate. Icehawks bring it back into the crease, pestered by Fortner. Now grabbed by Smith. Smith into the Icehawk zone, to his forehand, peels back in the corner, little time and space, got Prazel up high, deflected. Now stolen by the Icehawks. Comes off on the. Fortner will battle for it up against the half wall, grabbed by Fortner through the neutral zone, backhands it down into the Icehawk zone. Clearing pass, grabbed by Smith, comes right back over to Fortner, mishandles that one. Icehawks will come away with it. Mouth guard laying on the ice. I believe that's Fortner's. Loose puck. Fortner slaps it off the half wall, comes over near side. This will be Morrison. Chips it up the boards, trying to get it to Smith. Smith will clear it to center ice. Now Holiday will go D to D for the Icehawks. Line change here for the Knights. In will come Goins and Chikine. Morrison and Graham are on the defense. Icehawks go D to D. Now we're going to get an icing. They'll blow it dead. Face-off will come back into the Icehawk zone. 10:31 remaining in the game. 14 seconds remaining on the Icehawks power play. Face-off will be far side in the Icehawk zone. Chikine's going to step in and take this one at the center spot. Far wall, Icehawks will clear it. Comes to Graham. Slaps it back in the Icehawk zone. Delayed offsides. Now the Knights are back on side. Icehawks will clear it. Cross ice past Gibson. Gibson into the Knight zone. Checked by Goins up against the boards. Pushed up ahead to Cunningham. Cunningham left. Whips a shot high up over the net. Nice hustle by Graham to hold it in at the blue line. Oh, nice touch by Chikine. Cunningham save. Landry with a save. Cunningham, another save by Landry. Chikine whips it around the half wall, comes over near side to Cunningham. He'll whip another one. That's blocked up front by the Icehawks. Comes right to the stick of Cunningham, shoots. Landry with a save. They'll blow it dead. Face-off will be in the Icehawk zone with 9:30 remaining in the game. Knights leading 6-1. This face-off brought to you by CK Print Design. This will bring in Larson, Neal, and Diaz. McClin and Prazel. Larson will take the center spot, gets it over to Neal. Neal slaps it through the middle, bounces around down into the corner over to Larson. Larson punches it around the wall. Neal will poke at it. Icehawks will try to clear it. Diaz gets the steal. Gets it over to Larson. Larson centers it. Neal streaking through the middle, bounces off his stick, comes back over near wall. Now down low to Diaz. Neal shot blocked up front. Icehawks grab it. They'll send it out to center. Comes to the stick of McClin. He'll come D to D back behind Prazel. Now he'll send it up the wall towards Larson. Chip down into the Icehawk zone. No chipping. They're going to say that was an icing. Face-off will come back to the Knight zone with 8:50 remaining in the game. Larson will step in. Tied up at the dot, he'll come away with his own face-off. Chips it up the boards right ahead to Diaz. Diaz up the left-hand side. He's got Neal right, takes a shot right into the glove of Landry. Neal and Diaz hugging each other out. Neal's like, why didn't you pass it, man? It's like, I wanted a goal too, dude. In will come Fortner and Smith. Goins on the forward. Prazel and McClin will stay in there on the defense. Goin wins it over to Smith. Smith's shot, blocker save, Landry. Cleared around the boards. Pass Prazel, so he'll backhand it over to McClin in the neutral zone. Chipped up the wall, and no, he was trying to cycle it to Fortner racing in, but it was blocked by the ref. Now it does come in right to the stick of Goins. Leaves it for McClin. Shoots and scores! Kansas City goal. Number 8, Tevis McClin. From number 2, Colton Goins. What a sweet drop pass from Goins to McClin. And with 8:18 remaining in the game, it's 7-1 Knights. Bounces ahead right to Goins. He'll take a shot. Landry with a save. Well, that just kind of pinballed off of a bunch of players, and Goins just kept pushing forward. He ended up right behind the defense, and there was the puck. He took a shot on Landry. Now we've got the run clock going. Face-off tied up, comes right to Smith. Smith to his forehand, tried to take a shot. Gets tied up. Does trickle over towards Landry. He'll cover it up. Face-off in the Icehawk zone once again. Becker and Morrison have checked in on this defensive line. Face-off, Goins takes a shot, goes wide of the net. We're going to get a tripping on Landry as Fortner went down. Landry reached out to poke away the puck. Fortner's feet were right there, and that's going to be tripping on the goalie. So let's see who they put into the sin bin. Brought to you by the Flea Market Bar and Grill in Westport, home of the best burgers in Kansas City. Pretty fond of their French dip too, by the way. It's good. Chikine, Neal, and Cunningham check in on this forward line. Power play for the Knights. 6:56 remaining in the game. Chikine wins it over near half wall. That'll be Neal. Slaps it off the boards. Back behind Landry. Over to Cunningham. Icehawks will clear it back around the boards. Morrison will hold this one in the Knight zone. Whiffs on his shot. Now backhanded down low. Back behind Landry. Cunningham's there. Comes away with a puck. Sends it hard up the boards. Bounces over Becker's stick. Morrison will have to come back. Sends it over near wall. Neal will peel back around up the left-hand side. Cunningham and Chikine fill the middle. Neal shoots. Blocked. Icehawks clear it, comes right to the stick of Cunningham. Saved by Landry, goes up into the net. They'll blow a dead face-off in the Icehawk zone. 6:10 remaining in the game. Chikine will step in here at the center, looking to send it over towards Cunningham. Does come to Cunningham. Nice move right through the middle. Cunningham shot. Landry with a save. Cleared over to Chikine. Centered back up front. Cunningham battling for it. Now into the corner. Brings it up high to Graham. Graham D to D to Prazel. Prazel with an angle. Takes a shot. Landry with a save. Chikine was trying to poke it in right up front. Landry got it covered up. They'll face it off in the Icehawk zone. 15 seconds remaining. The Knights will get a forward line change. So that'll end the power play as soon as they drop the puck. And that's the end of the power play. 5-on-5 skate. Comes up high to Prazel. Prazel to Graham. Graham's shot. Save Landry up into the net. They'll blow it dead. Do it again. Face-off comes to Smith. Smith will skate in. Shot. Glove saved by Landry. Blown dead. Another face-off in the Icehawk zone. Shot number 42 on the morning for the Knights. Face-off comes to Smith again. Up high to Graham. Sends it down low to Larson. Larson in the corner to his backhand. Brings it up high to Prazel. Prazel will send it over far side to Graham. Graham will backhand it down into the corner. Comes to Larson. Larson back to his forehand. Passes over to Prazel. Bounces off his stick. Saved by Landry. Comes over near side. Fortner can't get it saved. Icehawks will come up the right-hand side. This is Morin. Centers it. Nice center pass. Pops up in the air. Nice job by Smith. Come over checking him away. And we're going to get roughing. Smith's going to get a roughing on that one. And the Icehawks will go to a power play. Fortner, Chikini and Diaz will come in. This will be Becker and McClin on the defense. And they're just going to let it run. There we go. Now the 2 minutes is on. Face-off comes to Diaz. Diaz will bring it up the right-hand side. Poke checked away by the Icehawks. Diaz will grab it in the corner. Short-handed. Tries to center it up front. Chikini there. Landry will jump on top of it. They'll blow it dead. Face-off in the Icehawk zone. 2:05 remaining in the game. 7-1 Knights. Chikini wins it up to Becker. Becker's shot's deflected, goes wide of the net. Diaz grabs it, centered. Oh, he was looking for Chikini, streaking through the middle, but couldn't connect with him. Now Becker, backhand, goes wide of the net. Grabbed by Chikini, up high to McClin. Shoots, Landry with a save. Falls on top of it. They'll blow it dead. Face off in the Icehawk zone. Knights will switch everybody up here. Neal and Fortner will come in for one last line. Morrison and Graham on the defense. 40 seconds remaining on the power play. 1:05 remaining in the game. It is a run clock. Neal will take the center spot. It's got Fortner to the right. Morrison back behind him. Face-off won by the Icehawks, sent into the corner. Neal forecheck, made an early pass. Morrison keeps it in the zone. Neal sends it far side. Fortner will race over for this one. Far boards down in the corner, loose puck, grabbed by Neal. Comes around the backside of Landry. Peels back into the corner, looking for some time and space. Now gets clogged up, centers it up front. Fortner was there, got deflected, goes off far corner. Neal will grab this one. Into the penalty, Smith's out of the box. In comes Goins. Here come the Icehawks. Morin the other way. Takes a shot, glove save. Russo sends it off to the wall. Morrison will clear it, and we're going to get an icing with 10 seconds left. That'll end the game. as this is a run clock, no face-off with this one. Knights sweep the Icehawks. 7-1 victory here at Independence Ice Arena. 9-1 last night at Blue Hawk, so this home and home goes to the Knights both ways. Final stats, Icehawks 1 goal on 6 shots. Knights 44 shots, 7 goals. Last night, I would probably given player of the game to Neal with 2 goals and assists, just edging out Bo Smith with his 2 goals. Tonight, or this morning, I'm a little torn. Do you go with Cunningham with 3 assists, or do you go with Larson with 2 goals and an assist? I don't know. Cunningham was doing a lot of creating in this game and really got the Knights going with those assists. So I'm going Brody Cunningham today with 3 assists. Hey, you can't score all the time without a passer. Brody was passing lights out today. So great job, Brody Cunningham. Great job with the Knights on taking the sweep of the Icehawks. Good luck to JV2 as they are underway out at KC Icehawks. Hopefully somebody's doing that one on the Facebook page, as we were in 2 different spots today and couldn't bring you that game, but best of luck to them. Thanks for joining us. Chiefs play tonight on Sunday Night Football, so see if the Chiefs can keep their playoff hopes alive. They're going to have to get a win against the Houston Texans to do that. A loss is pretty much going to put them out of action. So go Chiefs. Congratulations to the Knights. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Final score, Knights 7, Icehawks 1.